woman wielding very sharp knife. Watch out. Feeling strange today. Hey y'all, hey, Erica with TimetoShrink. It is time to do some meal prepping, y'all. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not feeling it today, but I know things will go better down the road if I do it. So, pulling on my big girl panties and we are gonna push through it. A Peruvian cilantro sauce, pimento cheese with bacon. This is the chili that I made. 1, 2, 3, 4 pork meals to put in the freezer. I'm watching some YouTube and I'm gonna get started. First thing I'm gonna do is make like a chorizo style chili. I originally got the idea from KetoGinja, but I'm not using her recipe. I actually have no idea what her recipe is. I just liked the idea, so I'm going to run with it. I've made it in the past a few different ways, and here we go. I'm going to do a pound of beef and 2 things of pork chorizo. I think these are 14 ounces each, so these are almost a pound each. Going to use my Instant Pot. I put a tiny bit of avocado oil in there and hit it to saute. I'm letting it heat up. Then I'm going to saute all of this meat, cook the meat up, and set it to the side while I get started with the rest of it. So I've just got all of the meat in here at one time in the bottom of my Instant Pot on saute. I am using the lovely spatulator. Spatulator. Anyways, I'm getting this all done up. And then this is what we're going to be adding to it. But a little bit of Mexican oregano, some chili powder. You do not have to have a hot one. I just happen to. And then I'm using this just because I have it and I really enjoy it. It's ground ancho chilies, onion, garlic, paprika, citric acid, lemon peel, chipotle pepper, red pepper, jalapeno, cocoa, natural smoke flavoring. So basically it has all of the seasonings that you would use in a chili, and then I'll also add just some of the plain chili powder. You could use lots of individual spices if you want, but I have this, so this is what I'm going to use. Red peppers, probably I'll do half of this jar. This is 2 carbs per serving. Some jalapeno peppers, some chipotle salsa, 2 carbs per serving also. And then this tomato sauce is 2 carbs per serving. I got this in the Mexican aisle. It is a jalapeno tomato sauce. I have not used this particular one before, but we are going to go for it. And then I'm going to chop up some onions and some cilantro, and we will be set. Putting veggies right in the middle there. It was 1 small onion and half a jar of the roasted pepper. To this, I added the 3 jars of that jalapeno tomato sauce and 1 small jar of diced jalapenos. And I am also now going to add the jar of the chipotle salsa. I added this beef bone broth. It's just a little packet, just this 1 packet, and 8 ounces of water. You could add just regular beef broth, whatever, about 8 ounces of it. And then I also added about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I forgot to show that to y'all. A tablespoon of Arizona Dreaming, tablespoon of chili powder, tablespoon of Mexican oregano. I am not adding salt because the chorizo is plenty salty, y'all. You could do manual 10 minutes if you wanted. I just hit bean chili because I knew it would do 10 minutes. I am getting ready to prep cheese in general. I'm going to shred cheese with my food processor, but I'm getting ready to prep pimento cheese. I'm going to make my own pimento cheese. This is extra sharp white. This is sharp cheddar. I always like to use the combination of these two, but you can make pimento cheese with whatever kind of shredded cheese you choose. It really can be made so many different ways, but I'm going to go kind of classic. You just need a jar of pimentos. So these are little pimentos, and then you can or cannot, it's up to you. Some people add Philadelphia cream cheese. Some people think it's sacrilegious to add cream cheese and you only use the shredded cheeses. But y'all, I am out of Dukes. I almost feel like I shouldn't make this today. I am having heart palpitations at picking this mayonnaise out of my pantry to make pimento cheese with. Oh my goodness, y'all. This girl is from the South. You make pimento cheese with Duke's mayonnaise. There's not another option. Like, there's just really not, y'all. But this is what I have. Oh my goodness. I literally have anxiety right now, y'all. Not really, but kinda. Like, why am I out of Duke's? First of all, how in the heck am I out of Duke's? Second, should I not be making this? if I only have avocado oil mayonnaise, but on the other hand, it will be way healthier for us if I use this avocado mayo versus my Dukes. So we're gonna go for it. So these are the major components, and then you can season it up however you want. You could add some jalapenos, you could add some bacon, you could add whatever spices you want. We're gonna use this to shred all of our cheese. So easy. I have never ever made pimento cheese without shredding my own cheese. I don't know, that's the way that I've been taught to do it. So that's how I do it. So here is the seasoning concoctions that I am going to be putting in. Then again, like I said earlier, my pimentos, mayonnaise, and the cheese. So the ratio is 2 cups of this cheese to 2 cups of this cheese to 4 ounces of this cream cheese. That's the ratio, and then a cup of mayonnaise. And then you can do whatever you want from there. I am gonna doctor it up with all of this stuff. I've already measured it all out, and I will share this recipe exactly eventually because I'm still tweaking. Doubling my recipe, y'all. So this is a block of cream cheese, mayonnaise and cream cheese. I pulsed it until it was one consistency, and now we are going to add everything else and quickly pulse it. So this is 8 ounces of each cheese, 1 jar of the pimentos, and a handful of bacon. I crumbled up my bacon. I had cooked this and crumbled it up a couple days ago, threw it in the fridge, and I'm going to use this. So I pulsed that just a few times, probably like 2 or 3 times, and then I added another 8 ounces of each of the cheese. So this is really full. I probably should not have doubled this. I should have done 2 separate recipes, but it is what it is. All right, pulsed it a couple more times and decided I don't want it to get too combined, so I'm going to take this, pour it into here, and do the rest by hand. So, huge bowl. This is what it's looking like. It looks phenomenal. It's tasting good, but I need to put it in the refrigerator and let it sit for an hour and then taste it, because how it tastes now is not how it's truly going to taste until it's had time to kind of marry. So we're going to put this in the fridge and we will come back to it. I just took the top off of my chili and tasted it, and it is perfection. Perfection, with some sour cream and a little bit of cheese and some avocado. Oh my gosh, y'all, I cannot even. I'm so glad I doubled this so that I can freeze some for later. Oh, yum. Like I was saying earlier, y'all, I am so not feeling meal prep today. I'm just not feeling it, but I know I'm gonna be so happy that I did it. We are on to the next section of meal prep. Woman wielding very sharp knife. Watch out. Jackson just sharpened this for me. That's the first thing that you need to do this, a super sharp knife. All right, we are going to do pork. I got this pork at Costco for, what was it? $18 for all of this pork. But look at the massive size of this pork chop. Like, it's freaking massive. If you wanted to make stuffed pork chops, these would be perfect, but I don't. I want to grill pork chops. So what I'm going to do is take a knife. If you don't have a sharp knife, you could totally cut yourself so easily. Please use a sharp knife, y'all. A very good quality sharp knife. And this is slicing through this like butter. It would not be doing that if we did not have a sharp knife. I try to sharpen my knife almost every time I use it, y'all. So it makes such a difference if you keep a sharp knife. Okay, y'all, look at all of this freaking pork. This is gonna make a bunch of meals. So $18 for all of this. Let's see how many meals we're gonna get out of this. Last time I did this with chicken, we got like 9 meals out of it. It came out to like $3 a meal, not per person, for 5 people. So I don't know if we're gonna beat that with the pork or not, but let's try. See, I do wash my hands. I know I usually do it off camera and people are like, did she wash her hands? Is she touching stuff after she touched that pork? I'm not, y'all. I swear I wash my hands. I just usually cut it out because nobody really wants to watch me wash my hands, and my kid is dancing behind the camera again, y'all. Okay, he was supposed to be helping. He's making me not be able to focus. I don't know exactly what I'm making, y'all. I always just make these up. But so I set out everything that I might need. So I've got my oils. I've got all of my vinegars / acids. I've got a couple different flavorings, and then I've got the spices and the salt and pepper that I think I might use. Got my tablespoon measure, and I've got this little guy to measure my ounces. The first thing I'm going to do is divide my pork chops between my bags so I know how many meals we're making. Alright y'all, so this only made 4 meals. Although 4 meals for 18 bucks, I'm not going to complain. I was hoping to get closer to what I got last time I did the chicken. But anyways, let's get going. Woo, that came out fast. I thought this had the porry top. All right, I got it right though. 3 ounces. 3 ounces of olive oil. Let's go pomegranate. Pomegranate vinegar, and y'all, I am almost out. This pomegranate vinegar, pure unfiltered, it's got the mother in it. This stuff is the best. I think we have enough to make one thing out of it though. I'm gonna do about 2 ounces. I usually do 3 ounces of olive oil to 2 ounces of my acid. So whatever total acid is going in is gonna be 2 ounces. That's close enough. We're gonna say that's 2 ounces. And we desperately need to go to Trader Joe's because Mama loves the pomegranate vinegar. Last time I made this, I used the Trader Joe's 21 Season Salute. I don't have that today, y'all, so we're going with this Bragg's 24 Herbs and Spice Seasoning. I'm thinking it's gonna be about the same. So I'm gonna do 2 of these, which is exactly enough of that. I don't measure the salt and pepper, y'all. Just do what you think. When you're marinating, you sometimes want to use more seasoning than you think you would. So this is a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to use this whole teaspoon because all of it doesn't stay on when it goes on the grill or however you're going to cook it. So I'm going to get the air out mostly, and then I kind of just use my fingers on the outside of the bag and go all around it until I feel like it's evenly distributed in here. This is why I love to do these in these bags. Or I could do it in a food saver bag, which was really what I had planned. I have my food saver out, y'all, waiting for me. Yeah, and then I use Ziploc bags. I did this last time, y'all. I did this when I made the chicken. Why do I forget about the food saver even when it's standing right in front of me? Because you are choosing to do this when you're not feeling it. That would be why, Erica. Okay, so see how that's all well mixed and distributed? So now we want to get all of the air out of it. If you're using a food saver bag, ideally you're using a food saver bag. It gets all of the air out for you. If you're using a Ziploc bag, just do your best to work all that air out, because if there's air in it, it's more likely to get freezer burn. And then what I do now is I try to make it as flat as possible. There are a couple reasons for this. One is to keep all of the stuff well distributed all through it so that I don't have to use tons of marinade. So that's kind of one of my little tricks. Also, if you lay it out flat like this, it will defrost super fast for you. If it's all bunched up down here, it's gonna take hours to defrost. Often when I use these, they're not planned meals. They're like, oh, we need to eat something. What I was planning to make tonight is gonna be too much work. I can send one of the boys out to the grill. So I'll set this out for like an hour and it's ready to grill. So that's why I like them to be flat like this. Also, number 3, yeah, that's right, number 3. Number 3, they store super great in the freezer. When they're flat like this, you can just stack them. So that is totally why I do it this way. And I love, love, love having pre-marinated either pork or chicken in the freezer. Since I have a helper, I had him write on it, but I always have a Sharpie handy. I write what it is, and you can be more specific if you want, but I know what this means. And always write the date. I forget this sometimes, y'all, but if you have a big freezer that you're stuffing stuff in, it's nice to know the date when you put it in the freezer. Here I just went ahead and finished up making marinades for the rest of the remaining 3 bags of pork. This one was a sherry vinegar and olive oil combination that I used. And then I used a garlic spread for my seasoning and a little bit of Italian seasoning as well, just a mixed Italian seasoning. I always add salt and pepper, and then I decided to add a little bit of onion. So this is kind of just going to be a straight up Italian style chicken. The sherry vinegar gives it a really, really good flavor. Then moving on to the next one, I'm going to do a lemon pepper. So again, I always do 2 ounces of my vinegar to 3 ounces of my oil, and then whatever spices you want. So it's 3 ounces of oil, 2 ounces of vinegar or lemon or any kind of acid, and then whatever spices you want, and salt and pepper. You just zhuzh it all up in the bag, write what it is, and move on to the next one. I love setting everything out this way so that I can just make as many different ones as I have the stuff to make, and it's just really easy. I never know what I'm going to make until I reach for it, so that's why you see me like moving bottles around and stuff. I'm not a recipe girl. I just kind of like to wing things as I go, and they always turn out really, really good. I am actually measuring a little bit so that I can share this with y'all, and because I'm working on making my first cookbook, y'all, so I'm writing everything down these days. But that is completely foreign to me. I am not a measuring gal. That is pretty much it for the pork, y'all. Moving on to something else. The next thing that I'm going to make is like a cilantro lime sauce. It's Peruvian green sauce. It looks so freaking good. I have everything that I need for it except for fresh garlic, which I'm really bummed about because I know that's going to make a difference. But we're going to use garlic powder and move forward. I'm going to do about a cup of cilantro. Cilantro can be very, very sandy, y'all, so wash it super well. 3 jalapenos, but these are huge, so I'm going to do 2. Some Daisy sour cream, some mayo, and 1 whole lime squeezed in, and some lime zest. And then at the last minute, you drizzle in some olive oil. So let's start dumping. You do not have to just use the leaves with cilantro, y'all. There is so much flavor in the stems, so just wash it well, but don't get rid of the stems. That's just a little tip. So I'm going to throw everything in here, and then we'll get to pulsing. So the jalapenos, y'all, you can leave them seeded or unseeded. I left a few of the seeds in, but I took most of them out. Y'all, this olive oil, we're just going to use a couple tablespoons of it, and we're going to drizzle it in kind of like you're making a mayonnaise. So this is what the sauce is looking like. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and let it thicken up, and then we will taste it, y'all. I'm thinking that it might be really good on top of this chili that I just made. So my plan for this Peruvian cilantro sauce was to make a coleslaw, and I'm going to pour some of this over it and toss it, and I think that should make a really good slaw to go as a side to our chili tonight. Food prep today. We made, oh, we're missing one. I knew we missed something. Yeah. Cilantro, this is a Peruvian cilantro cream sauce, I don't know. Pimento cheese with bacon. This is the chili that I made, what's left of it after we had it for dinner. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pork meals to put in the freezer. This is a great, fast, less than 30-minute food prep. If you're not recording, this is like a 10-minute food prep. Throw them in the freezer, and then you are ready for crazy busy back-to-school nights, y'all. That's going to be a wrap today. Thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for bearing with me, y'all. I have been all over the place. I'm just feeling strange today, but that's going to be a wrap. I will talk with y'all again very, very soon. Bye, y'all.